Okay, so in this video, we're going to be going over how to build an AI phone receptionist that books real appointments with no coding required. So basically, your business phone gets answered 24/7 by an AI that sounds human. It answers questions and books appointments straight into your calendar, and it works while you're working, sleeping, or on the other line. So who is this for? It's basically for any business that books appointments and misses calls. For any business that books appointments and misses calls, like salons, dentists, gyms, contractors, law offices, or someone who's looking to sell this type of product or automation services to these types of businesses. So why now? AI receptionists are the fastest growing business automation tool, and it's pretty cheap to have one. It only costs about 15 cents a minute versus the salary of a real receptionist. And this should take roughly about an hour from start to finish, even if you have no experience at all. Here's what you'll need: a Vapi account, a cal.com account, Claude Code or Codex, ngrok, and then your cell phone. So we're just gonna go through it step by step. I would recommend, if you don't have these accounts, to maybe pause the video and just go sign up for some of these accounts. It takes a few minutes. But let's just assume that you already have these made. So we're just gonna go through it. So step one, again, create a free cal.com account, and we're gonna create one event type. So we're gonna go here to cal.com, go to event types, and click new. Event types, new, and then you're gonna wanna select for which organization. And we're just gonna name this consultation. You can obviously change the name and the details for the duration depending on your business. All right, consultation one. If you're like a in-person business, if you're doing this to get clients to show up at your door, you're gonna want to change the location to in-person, so that way the receptionist doesn't send your the people interested a Zoom link or anything like that. So we'll go ahead and do that. You can change the duration here as well, and then you can change the availability that they can book for. So we clicked event types, new, name it whatever, set the length and available hours. Then we're gonna go and grab the API key. We're gonna go to settings, developer, and then create API key, and then copy it somewhere safe. So we're gonna go, we wanna save this first, and then we're gonna go back, and we're gonna go to settings. We're gonna go over here, developer, under API keys, and you won't see this, but you can just hit new, and then I name mine phone receptionist, and I'll just name it phone receptionist once. You can set it to never expire, so that way you don't have to come in here and reset it. And it's gonna give you a API key. Just go ahead and copy it, and then paste it, save it somewhere like on your notes or something, just so you can reference it later. Okay. So once we have the API key, we're gonna want to get the event type ID. So we're gonna go to open your event type, and then the number in your URL is the ID, and you're just gonna save it in your notes app or write it down somewhere. So we're gonna go back here to the event type, And then this number right here is the event ID. So we're just gonna copy that. And I'm pasting these on my notes over here so you can't really see it. Okay, so now step 2, we're gonna wanna set up the Vapi voice platform. So again, if you don't have a Vapi.ai account, go ahead and make it first. And then once you make your account, you're gonna, obviously be on the dashboard here. And we're gonna grab the private API key in the dashboard under Vapi API keys and then copy it onto the notepad as well. So let's go back here, and it's going to be on your dashboard, API keys, and you're going to grab the private API key. So you can just copy it and save it. Okay. Now the next thing is step 3. You're going to open Claude Code and then paste this prompt in that I have here. So if you don't have Claude, obviously get Claude, and then I would download the desktop app as well, so you can just kind of access it from down here. And when you're in Claude, you can just go ahead. So you'll probably land on the home screen, but if you click code, it'll take you to Claude Code, which is where we want to be. And here we're gonna click this new, or add another folder. And we're just gonna click new folder and just do something like AI phone receptionist demo. And obviously you can name it whatever you want. Doesn't really matter. Okay. And then it'll make the folder, and then we'll come here and you should be able to select your folder, or if not, you can just click open folder, find the correct folder, and then it'll, select the right folder. Okay. And then inside of this folder, that's where we're going to go ahead and grab this prompt, copy it, and just paste it in. After a little bit of time, I think it took about like 2 minutes, it'll respond, and then it will ask you to fill in the .env file with your different API keys that we saved from step 1. So you can just tell it, open the .env file for me so I can paste in the keys. Okay, so let me go ahead. It opened up the file here. So all we're gonna do is just paste in the API keys that we saved, as well as the event type ID. And then there are some like personal stuff, personal business details here that you should, change if you have to. And then the rest, you just kind of leave it. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill these in. Okay, so once you add your API keys and the event type ID, just save the document. So hit Command Save or Control Save if you're on Windows, and then come back to Claude and just say done. And then one thing that I want to just quickly bring up, if it tells you that you need to authenticate ngrok on your device or whatever, and you don't know how to do that, just ask it to like walk you through how to do it. It should be pretty simple. I'm not sure if it would actually ask you to authenticate, but if it does, then just ask it to help you. Okay, so after it's done with all of that, we're gonna go back to the doc and go to the next step. So step 5 is you want to give it a phone number. So we go to Vapi, we're gonna go to phone numbers, create, and then create a free Vapi number. And then set the inbound assistant to the one Claude created. And it says you can also use the talk assistant web button if no number is available. But we're gonna go ahead and go to Vapi and then go to phone numbers. And I already created one, but if you haven't created one, you just click this and you can select an area code that is local to you. Yeah. So I'm not gonna make a new one, but it'll just create it like this. And then on this same screen, we just scroll to, where's it at? Oh, here we go, assistant. And this is the one that Claude created right here. And then we're gonna hit save. Okay. So now the next part is literally just calling it and just testing to see if it works. So let's go ahead and give it a call real quick. So 725-377-311.
Thank you for calling my business. This is the virtual receptionist. How can I help you today?
Hi, I'd like to schedule an appointment.
Of course. What day were you thinking for your appointment?
I was thinking on Monday at 12 p.m.
Got it. Let me check our availability for Monday. Can you confirm if you mean this coming Monday, October 30th?
It would be Monday, July 6th.
Give me a moment. It looks like 12 p.m. isn't available, but we have openings on Monday, July 6th at 2 p.m., 2:15 p.m., and 2:30 p.m. Would any of these times work for you?
Okay, so I think the way that it should work is based off of the what's it called? The schedule that you set on Cal. So just make sure that you set the right scheduling for whatever dates and times you want your customers to be able to book for. But as you saw, it worked pretty well just for the setup we did. But now we want to give the receptionist more information about our business specifically. So you're gonna paste this prompt into Claude next. And it's just gonna ask questions about your specific business. So get as detailed as you want. I think the more specific and more details you give it, the better it will, the better outputs it'll give. So it's gonna ask, business, what's your business name? What services do you offer? Hours, location, call handling, anything off limits. So just go ahead and give it examples for your specific business. If you're selling this as a service, then obviously you want to get this info before doing it. So after that, it's step 8. So this step is optional, but I would still do it. So call the voice agent and if it struggles, tell the chat what happened to fix the prompt. So call back and test like a difficult customer. Ask for a vague time, say something like sometime next week. Request a slot that is taken. Change your mind mid-call, ask a question it can't answer, interrupt it, and ask for a human. After each call, check cal.com. So wrong bookings are worse than no bookings. And if it struggles, tell the chat what happened. So basically just stress test it, run it through edge cases. You can do these ones here, and then just make sure that it does actually book on Cal. And I think that's the one thing I just missed showing you right now, but it should show up on your bookings here once you confirm it. So now this step 9 is putting it online. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab this prompt and we're gonna deploy it. So just go ahead and paste that in. So the same thing with ngrok. If you don't have a railway account and it's not authenticated with Claude Code, it's just gonna ask you to authenticate it, which basically just means to like log in. So, and then you can have Claude basically do that for you as well. You just literally tell it, do it for me, and then it'll just prompt you to sign in with your account. So don't get, worried about that or anything. Okay, so once it's done, it'll tell you what changed, and then it'll basically give you like loose end tasks. So if there's still anything that needs to be fixed, just fix it with Claude and you should be good. And that's pretty much it. So the last thing you'd really want to do is forward your business's existing number to the Vapi number. And this, I'm not going to go through that in this video, but it's pretty straightforward. You could even just look it up on YouTube, but and then you could also just use the Vapi number on your website or Google Business profile or wherever people are calling you. Okay. So now here are a few things that I would recommend to add on to your scheduler or your AI voice agent. So cancel and reschedule. So you could add tools where callers can move or cancel existing appointments, not just book new ones. You could do SMS confirmation. So you could text the caller a booking confirmation and a reminder the day before. Transfer to human. So during business hours, let the AI hand the call to a real person on request. After hours, it takes a message instead. Call summaries in your inbox. Email or text the owner a summary after every call so the AI never feels like a black box. Multiple appointment types. You could set different services or different lengths. And then I'm not sure what was here, but basically Vapi records transcript of every call, skim them, and tell Claude what to fix. So these are all good features to add in the future. And you can have Claude basically implement these as well. So again, this is more cost effective than actually hiring a receptionist. It costs about 10 cents to 25 cents a minute. So you end up paying about $30 to $75. If you're getting about 100 calls a month, and then you could, if you're selling this as a service, you could charge 200, 500 a month on the low end. Obviously some businesses would pay more, but just something to kind of get the wheels turning. And the final thing, if you don't want to do this on your own, you could book a call with me and I will build it for you.